Hi. Well, I figured I would make a quick video. I have other channels on YouTube, but I figured that I would make a quick video on a little bit about some of the psychic stuff I deal with clairaudience, clairvoyance, a little bit of mediumship there, and remote viewing stuff to go along with it. Follow along with me as I'm talking because, as you'll find out in my story, I had some physical issues, health issues that got me to where I'm at. So, anyway, if you notice that I stop in the middle of a sentence and stop to contemplate what I'm thinking, it goes along with the health issues. So, to the best of my abilities, I'll give you a little bit of background on myself and what this channel's about. Alright. Well, basically, I guess you would call me a psychic medium. I'm not too fond of the word psychic, mediums, things like that, because I believe we all have it. It's just basically, a matter of knowing how to use what you've got. And, well, I'm going to try to do my best. Okay. Back before I turned 40, a month before my 40th birthday, I was talking on the phone with a friend, and my friend had described to me that you seem to be saying everything to me before it happens, or describing what's going on around me, or saying things before I say them. He goes, "Can you guess where I'm at?" So I just closed my eyes, and I started seeing what looked like a film negative in my mind. It's kind of like when you're outside and you come inside and you see the brightness outside, and you come in and you see the shapes and everything looks dark. Well, it's like that. And for a while there, for like 2 years, I didn't know what it was. All I knew was that I could take and I could have people hold on to objects, and I would close my eyes with my back to them, and I would see what it was that they were looking at. So when I remote view, I actually focus on the person or the subject or whatever's missing, and I basically see these pictures that look like old film negatives in black and white. And I get a little bit of an idea where they're at, and I'll draw it out and stuff like that, or draw out what I'm seeing. And then that started, like I said, about a month before I turned 40, and that was a few years ago. And I also came in contact with some people when I was talking to them, and I was explaining, a little bit of psychic things, like when one of my friends died, I just seemed to know things, and it was really weird and bizarre, because it was like, how do I know if I'm really getting the actual thing from him? And my friend had told me to go home and to try to talk, and whatever I was getting in my head, to take and, pay attention to it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I came home, and I sat there, and I sat at my computer, rather than doing like automatic writing, and I started typing what I was getting, and it always seemed to be coming from like up in this area, and it seemed like I would just hear from this angle. So I started to type "the cat's at your window," and I'm like, I don't have a cat. I mean, I'm right on the main drag here. There's no cats at my window on my front porch on like a main street. 10 minutes later, I heard a meow coming in my window. That's where everything started. So, alright, to give you a little brief description of myself, yes, I guess I always did have a little of something there. We all do. It's just a matter of knowing what to look for, what to listen for, and realize that it's not in your head. That you're actually getting information. And my information I hear kind of sounds like my voice, so I go with it, and it seems to be accurate. So, anyway, I was bit by a tick years ago, about 20 years ago, and I started getting symptoms of Lyme disease, which we knew nothing about it back then. And, 20 years later now, it seems, well, actually less than 20 years, about 6.5 years ago, I started getting what seemed to be like MS symptoms. So since I've had that, it seems to be even more heightened. So that's just basically a little bit about what I do. I do a lot of other things, but that'll get brought up later on down the road. So anyway, with the MS and the Lyme, you'll see me itching a lot. My speech sometimes will come out a little fumbled, or there'll be delays in between things that I say. Par for the course. But, you know, I believe that I was guided to help people. And I am more than willing to answer any questions anybody has, things like that. I will tell you, though, if you are getting a reading and you want one done, say you want to connect with a lost loved one that's crossed over, it's not always going to be the person that you want when you get a reading. It's going to be the ones that need to come through, somebody that needs to say something. It could be a close friend. At any rate, what they'll do is they will give you little, like, words, little phrases, little things that have happened in your life that only you know that's happened with them. And, you know, later on, it's possible you could possibly get somebody that you want to come through. It may even be on the first reading, but chances are it's going to be somebody that you would not expect. It could be like a family friend or a great aunt or a grandmother or something. A lot of times I get people that come in and they want to talk to their other half that's, you know, passed over. And, well, you know, yes, they do come through at times. Other times they might get, you know, like I said, a grandmother, a grandfather, an uncle, an aunt, a friend, something like that. And a lot of times they will let you know how they crossed over too, so it also helps. But all I ask is I want no information. I don't want to know who you're trying to contact. I don't want to know your birthday. I'm not doing tarot readings. I am in my shop here, which I do have cards and stuff like that. I sell them. I don't really care to do tarot readings because, in my opinion, anybody can pick up a deck of cards and they can just read it. It's like reading a book. You know, you memorize things, so on. I mean, it does help if you use your gifts along with it, but, you know, I'd rather not go that route. I'd rather speak one-on-one with people and connect with people who have crossed over, and remote viewing, helping finding missing people, things like that. So that's the kind of readings that I like to do. I'm not into all the future fortune-telling stuff. Not that I couldn't, but, you know, I mean, like every reader will tell you, things can change. It depends on the path that you decide to take. And, you know, I mean, I think it's more important to talk with the ones that have crossed over and to find missing people, friends, pets, objects, things like that. Things that are actual, factual, you know, things that aren't going to change, things that are what they are. And, you know, if I can help anybody, I'm ecstatic. I don't charge anything for it. I mean, I do if you come to the store here and you get a reading done, things like that. Because then at that point, you know, I mean, it's taken at least an hour of my time, and things like that. So, while I'm on YouTube, I mean, they're free. Feel free to go below and stop and drop me an email, and I'd be glad to, you know, help you in any way I can. Now, if you're looking for something that's missing, for example, that's okay to tell me, you know, look, I have a little dog, you know, little Fifi came up missing, she had on a pink collar, whatever, that's fine. But it's when, you know, I'm doing readings and things like that, that I really don't want to know any names. Even if it's like a missing person or something you're looking for, if you want to know how accurate I am, you don't have to give me the person's name. I'd just be glad to sit in remote view and see what I get for you. And then, of course, I will type things up. Now, there's legality purposes when it comes to this sort of thing. So a lot of times with readers, you will see that they will say stuff like, for entertainment purposes only. It does not mean that what I'm doing is not real. What it's saying is, in case somebody decides, well, I'm going to sue you, you know, I mean, that's something that you always have to be careful of. So I will have to say, you know, entertainment purposes only. Not because what I'm doing is not real, but because I don't need a lawsuit. So, at any rate, I thank you for watching, and I will be posting some more videos on various things. And You can go down below, like I said, drop me a line, an email, a comment. I will get back to you if you want something private and personal. Email is always the best. And I will get in contact with you. Right now, I'm just starting this channel, so things are slow. So, I have nothing but time. And if you have a hard time understanding me, I'm sorry. I have thyroid issues, thanks to the Lyme disease, just another thing. I will try to talk as clear as possible. Now, tomorrow I may not be able to talk as clear because I'm having some serious dental work done down here, and I may not sound too good. But anyway, I thank you for watching. And go down below, drop me a line, leave a comment, stop at my website, anything you want. Thanks so much for watching.